Hey, we're gonna have to get real down low. Got the glare on my glasses again. There, now you can see me. We're gonna have to get kind of low because my tripod's too big to fit in this spot, and I don't particularly want to set the whole thing up. But hi, I'm Ashleigh, Dreamweaver Technology. You've seen me on Instagram. You come to my YouTube channel, and it's the same name. So, what is Dreamweaver Technology? Sorry, I keep looking to see how I look in the phone, and my camera's over here, but my phone, the way I'm looking is over here. I'll get used to how this works. I'll get used to talking to a camera, I guess. Anyway, so I just wanted to give you an actual face to the brand and take you behind the scenes of what I do to get these cool figurines taken apart and shipped out. But you may be asking, what figurines are you talking about? I have no idea. Well, it's because I'm brand new. I started my business back in February, and I make 3D printed yoga figurines. I know, right? It's cool. But what are those? Oh, you can't see it. Here, wait. There. This one's Wild Thing. I make these on a 3D printer, and I'm going to show you what I go through. Well, okay, this is not 100% because I'm not turning on the computer programs today. I have a lot of these guys to ship out to different people that I've met on Instagram. So what I do is I make 3D printed yoga figurines for yoga challenges. And it's a cool way to help grow your business and get you noticed. And by being a sponsor, you give away something for free. And then that way other people see it and they're like, oh man, what else do you have to offer? Well, I've got all sorts of different things. I have, how many figurines? Let's see, there's 5 warriors, warrior in yoga poses, warrior 1, 2, 3, reverse warrior, humble warrior. I made camel pose. I have a meditation figurine. Wild Thing is something you can't buy currently. You have to participate in yoga challenges that I'm either sponsoring or, well, I guess it'd just be sponsoring because I'd be giving them away. So you have to participate in yoga challenges on Instagram that I'm sponsoring. And if you get chosen to be a winner and you get paired up with me, I send you Wild Thing. That's the only way currently you can get that figurine. All the others you can buy on my website, www.dreamweavertechnology.com, where I have, I've got a couple different things up there. Not only do I have all my warriors and the poses that I just listed, but I have a little tiny wine glass that I printed. And what else do I have up there? I'm drawing a blank right now. I got a couple other things. You're going to have to go check out the website. It's really pretty. I got it all set up, and I use Wix, and they are fantastic and super easy to use. And so I'm not going to show you everything. What I'm really trying to show you today, sorry, this is going to be the craziest first actual video with my face in it. It's going to be funny to look back on this in a year and go, oh, you actually know what you're doing now. And before you didn't, and you keep looking at the camera and the screen. So anyway, today I'm going to take you on the journey of undoing these from their supports. So you get this in the mail, but this is how they start. I already took the purple one out of here, so they print. I'm going to actually, let me see if I can do this. Here's all my printers. There's some that have already been taken out of their supports. And then this is the printing bed. So I have a couple different filaments that I use. The rainbow one's my favorite. They print like this. So that's why they're all attached. And in order for these to print correctly, they have to print with supports. So a 3D printer, imagine it a stack of paper, and that's how it prints. So you can print the figurine without all these supports in them, all of this stuff, but they don't print right because the printer needs something to attach to, because it prints, if you imagine a stack of papers, like that. So if it doesn't have anything for the filament to attach to as it's printing, it doesn't print right. I mean, it'll eventually get there, but it doesn't work. I've tried. But anyway, so they print like this with the supports, and then right in here, there's these little, here, let's bring this back over here so it's easier for me to use. Because when it's done, sorry, pardon my hand. So when they're done and the machine goes done, I can take them off of the printer, and it's printed on what's called a raft. So it comes off easy. And then with supports, he already started detaching this one. So don't worry, I'll clean that up. I'll go through that whole process. Prints with the supports. And as you can see right here, there's these breakaway points. Okay. And what I'm going to do is cut those apart. Here, I'll show you this other side. These ones haven't been started. So they print nice and smooth like this. So when I'm going through and getting the figurines off of the raft and out of the supports, I put a cut in right here, because her leg, there you can see it, her leg prints through because of how the Wild Thing pose is made. You have to cut that out because it doesn't break away. It's wrapped around her leg. So when you get your 3D printer, I use an Ender 3 Pro, and I love it. It's so nice. It's so easy to work with, so easy to troubleshoot. Prints super well every time. You know, you've got some issues sometimes. I'll do a video where you talk about issues and how to troubleshoot it. But for the most part, 95% of the time, I get a perfect print. Love my printer. So with your printers, you get these. And they're generally used for like cleanup. Like you can see, let's see here. See those little flyaways right here? These little bitty guys right here. Generally, when you're printing stuff, that's what these are used for. Little tiny cleanup. But you can use them however you need to get your 3D printed object cleaned up, fixed up, out of supports, yada yada, whatever you need. I also recommend needle nose pliers, because sometimes the plastic is too hard to grab onto just with your hands, and I can't tear it apart. So being able to grab onto it with something smaller than my fingers that doesn't, get hurt, because we are dealing with plastic here, it's nice to be able to grab onto them with this and then be able to turn and break it apart. So you'll see me go through all of that for getting this figurine out, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to get this one. Wait. Yeah, this one. I'm going to show you how I finished getting this one off. This part, actually, all I did here was just clip right underneath her hand. Now, you got to be careful because you don't want to clip the actual figurine. So you just try to break away the supports and do like a clip twist almost, and it breaks that part away. At least on this one, all the figurines are a little bit different. It just depends what you're doing. What you're printing, of course, is always going to end up being different. So let me just get started, and it only takes a few minutes to go from this to detached. I'm going to try, here, put my glasses back on so I can see what I'm doing easier. I'm going to try and show you with like my hand out of the way as best as I can. It's definitely different doing this for an audience instead of just myself, but that's all I'm doing. And it doesn't look like I'm doing much, but just by breaking away the supports here around her leg, that helps. Because they do generally tear away fairly easily, but it is much easier if you help it along with what you're trying to do. And then with these, in this particular figurine, there's only so many places you can get, like getting all inside here is a little more difficult. So as long as you break away the supports where you can see, okay, good, you can still see, where you can see, oh, see, that one I already got all the way through. So that's going to tear apart really easily. I try not to do too much around her face, because if you look at these, their faces are incredibly detailed. So it's really, really cool. So I try not to cut because these are sharp and they'll pinch the plastic and give it some kind of weird mark. And I definitely don't want that. I mean, mistakes happen, but you don't want to mess up your figurine. And you know, I've nicked legs and stuff like that too. So, you know, it happens. We're all human, and I'm not perfect. If I was perfect, a machine would be running a machine telling a machine what to do. And we don't have that over here. So, yeah, see, good. You can't see that I'm behind her leg. There we go. Okay, so we're going to call that good enough. So now, because it's all of them in here, I could try to cut them apart. You know, that's easier said than done some days. So, I'm just going to break like that. And I also, you don't want to put a lot of pressure on them. These ones I do need to go back into the program, because as you can see, this foot in particular doesn't have a whole lot of surface area on the plate. Whereas if you look at like her hand has a lot of surface area. This back foot, originally when I printed them, it was just the tip of her toes. Here, let's do one that's empty or already done. When I first printed these, it was just the tip of her toes that was stuck. So her toes would detach from the base plate that I have them on here because there's not enough surface area attached to them. So in the program that I use, I add more surface area to hold on to the plate. Same thing with her hands, because these are like fragile points. So I thicken them up in the program and then print it. So I do need to go back into the program. You can actually see it. So I'm going to catch it. Kind of. Okay, so you can kind of see it in here, how her foot's lifted up. As cool as that is, and more realistic, because that's kind of how your foot sits when you perform the pose wild thing, it makes it so it's a more fragile point. Makes it so it's a more fragile point in the figurine. So I'm going to take this back into the drawing board and add just a little bit more there. And it still shows off her toes really nice. You can see it right here. Toes. Fingers, face. The face prints really, really well. Kind of, you can see it. And then upper fingers. I mean, it's not completely foolproof. It doesn't look 100%. This is actually the back side of the figurine where the supports are attached to, so it's a little more rough. Any pictures of these you see, you generally see them like this, where it's the nice, soft, wonderful side. But let's get to taking this thing apart. I will try to show you as much as possible without my hand being in the way. Like I said, this is where this comes in real handy. So what I'm doing is grabbing around the raft, attempting to grab the supports right here, right there where my pliers are touching, and twist. Oh, you can't see that. Twist. And it breaks it away. Bam, see, just like that. Now her arm's free. And then we're going to do another rotate, and it detaches from her head. Oh, look at that. Came apart really, really well. I know it sounds sounds really loud, but it's doing okay. Okay, this is kind of a tougher spot, so sorry if you can't see what I'm doing. So it's not breaking the figurine. What I'm doing, you'll be able to see it on this. That's the supports on the inside. So that's all it's doing, is cracking all of that stuff on the inside. So it's not the figurine breaking. It's just the supports. For all this loud noise going on right now. And then I'm around the leg. So you got to be careful. Okay. Okay. Whew. Got it. So the whole thing. There you go. See? It's down around her leg. It's currently detached. Now, just got to break away that part so it snaps. Just Oh, there it is. There's a broken spot. Not in the figurine, where I can tear it apart. Ta-da! Not bad. So then, go back in with these guys. And for the most part, you don't really have to like clip it. I use them kind of like tweezers just to grab onto it. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could use tweezers, I guess, but why when it comes with these that are dual purpose? You don't have to switch tools for each thing you want to do. Because sometimes what I'm doing is pinching, like cutting some of these flyaways. They don't pull off, but sometimes they pull off. So it's just, you get the idea. Trial and error. And anything, let's see, like some of the support stuff is stuck to her head. So you just kind of grab and pull without cutting as much as possible. Just like that there. And then all this right here in her arm, I'm gonna take out. Okay, and we're gonna go through, as you can hear. Just like that. So what I'm doing is trying to knock down as much imperfections as I can. And then anything that's left that I can't get off with these little cutters, I actually take a nail file to and make it smooth, because when these figurines are done and printed and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm done, I like to do it where I look at it like, what is a customer going to think? If you put your good hard-earned money into purchasing one of these figurines from me, what are you going to think? You're going to look at it. You're going to look at it like a hawk almost, because they're so cool. They're so different, so unique. So, I never saw anything like this before. As far as I know, there's only one other company out there printing yoga figurines, and they are army men. Yeah, the little green army men in yoga poses. They're really cool. They're super, super cool. I don't know if they're like casting them or pouring them as a mold. Let's get that out of the way. Or what exactly they're doing. I just know that they're yoga poses as army men. They're super neat. So I just take a regular, super cheap emery board, rougher side, smoother side. And I smooth them down, because when I look at these, when I'm done and I'm checking them out and I'm making sure that, yes, that is something I like, I do this. And I end up looking at them from every angle, not this fast, of course, every angle I possibly can. So I want to make sure that when you look at them, you don't find any imperfections. You look at them and you're like, man, that was well worth the money spent to have one of these cool figurines, or well worth my effort in a yoga challenge to have one of these, because I really, really wanted one. And I am so glad I got paired with Dreamweaver technology so I could get one, because, all those other companies are great, but, I already have a yoga mat. I already have like 15 pairs of leggings, because I've been doing yoga challenges for a really long time. But this is something different. I really want one of those. I want to see it in person. I want to check it out. I want to put it in my studio so that way other people can see it. Shoot, I didn't do a good job at a wild thing pose, but these look like the way the body is supposed to look. Sorry, I can't see my face. These look like the way the body is supposed to look when you're doing that pose. So now, instead of just a picture, I have the 3D model of how my body is supposed to look. So now I can try to practice and match my body up with the figurine as best as I can. So this is not only just a cute little novelty item, but it's, you know, it's a way to learn as well. So when I'm making these, they go through 3 programs. I will walk you through the 3 programs that I use in, you know, a video in the future. But when I do these, I make sure that I try to mimic the way the human body bends and looks as much as I physically can. There's only, you know, I built some Pilates figurines recently. Those are up on my website too. You can go check them out. But I built some Pilates figurines recently. And in the program, there's only 3 bend points in her back. And one of the figurines, it didn't turn out as well as I thought it would, but there was nothing I could do. I needed a 4th bend point, so I'm going to have to look into maybe something different in the future. Currently, the program that I use works perfect for every pose I've made, except for that one. But, you know, that was just something that I noticed that I would love to be able to improve on, because the way her back was bending was not 100%. You know, I mean, I got as close as I possibly could with what I have. I would have liked it to be better, but that's kind of the crazy part. The human body has so many flex points and so many bend points that technology, or at least the technology that I have, I can't say this for all technology because I'm very sure there's programs that are more advanced out there than what I'm currently using, but the human body has way more flex points than my program has. So I do the best that I can with what I have. And that makes it so, you know, when you get these and you're like, man, I really wish, you know, the pictures are great, but I really wish I had something, you know, that I could easier wrap my brain around the idea of how to get into this pose. So look, bam, there you go. A 3D printed model of how Wild Thing pose is supposed to look, with your feet in the position, your hands in the position, your arms straight down, your other arm straight out, your body with the arch in it, and your head back, relaxed. You know, it's kind of a difficult pose for some, for others it's easier. So it's easier to say you can be relaxed in this pose. Others would say it's more of a struggle and a challenge to be in this pose. But now you have the actual 3D model sitting in front of you. So this one's done, actually. It's nice and smooth. That's what I was doing while I was talking, is smoothing it out, checking out all my edges. Oh, missed a spot. Hold on. There we go. And I did not buff away her face. It was just a little tiny thing. There's another little tiny thing. Hold on. So you think you're done. There we go. There we go. And I just run my fingers along these edges where any of the supports were, just to make sure that they are not jagged like I kept finding up here. And they're nice and soft, and they look really good. I mean, they look really good. Don't worry, it didn't break. They're actually quite durable. They look really good from this side. I mean, of course, the front side is better, but I try to make sure that you can look at this from any angle and go, that's not bad at all. That looks really great. So, you know, as I continue to progress in these, I definitely am going to figure out a way to make it so they print smooth, 100%. I would love to be able to print them without supports. That would be great. There are machines that can do that, but they're expensive. And, you know, this is working really well for me. As you can see, it did not take me that long at all to get it out of the supports, clean it up, and be done. So before this video gets any longer, thank you for stopping in to see what goes on behind the scenes here at Dreamweaver Technology and how I take a yoga figurine from being printed, here, let's get this glare out of here again, from being printed hot off the printer to cleaned up to arriving at your doorstep, and all done. So I hope to see you in some yoga challenges. Go check me out on Instagram at Dreamweaver Tech, and I show off any challenges that I'm sponsoring currently for April 2020. I'm about to stop hosting challenges under that name. So that way you can go to that page and see just my figurines, just the flyers of the yoga challenges I'm sponsoring. And then if you want to see more of me behind the scenes, or you want to, be a part of challenges that I'm hosting, you'll have to check out my personal page, and there's links and attachments and all the good stuff to that. So thanks for stopping in, and I hope to see you again soon. We'll make more videos like this. It was super fun. Bye, guys.